Hey guys, welcome to Flite Fest. I'm Josh, and this is Josh.
Hi.
Now, we just finished up with what is our biggest event of the year, pretty much.
Yes.
Flite Fest 2015.
It was amazing. It was even bigger than last year.
Yeah, a great success. Now, it started early. I
Yes.
mean, really, the days for it was, what, Wednesday through Sunday?
Thursday through Sunday. Yep.
But we had volunteers there as early as Monday,
Yep.
helping us set up.
And tents and all sorts of crazy amenities coming in. It was insane. And then speaking of volunteers, we had about 150 volunteers show up this year from different countries all over the world. They really made this event what it was.
Yeah, we can't do it without you guys.
And also, we can't name every single person because it'd be too long.
Yeah.
But we do want to find a way, and we're going to find a way to give you credit for that. The wonderful flying monkey was
Fred Prost.
heading everyone up again.
Yep, awesome
and
job.
Wearing himself out as usual, running like crazy. But it was truly inspiring. The amount of people that showed up to donate their time so other people could have a fun experience. It really shows the heart of what Flite Fest and Flite Test is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had a little bit of weather.
Yeah.
Some bad rain on Thursday and Friday.
We had 2 build tents this year. 2 100 by 40 build tents. It was packed.
Well, the tents came in handy when the rain started, for sure.
It definitely did.
As did hay. We had hay everywhere on the ground, which thanks again to our volunteers for spreading all that out.
It was amazing.
Because the whole place was a giant mud hole.
115 bales of hay that we put down in the course of about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it worked great.
Yeah.
But we got the hay down. That really quickly firmed up the ground again, and that was a good thing because one thing that we also had this year was a lot more vendors. About 22 vendors in all, from all over the country, and showcasing a lot of really cool products.
Yeah, we got to see some cool demos. We also had combat, like we always do, a few times.
We had more combats this year. Matter of fact, there's talk next year to actually having a combat section where it's just perpetual combat.
Yeah.
Because we had more combats this year from the Bloody Wonder combat to just spur of the moment, hey, let's have a combat. People kept requesting it. And as soon as they would go out there and they'd fly their planes, you know, you wouldn't have 10 or 20, you'd have almost 70 to 100 every single time. Mostly Bloody Wonders and the foamies. But
and one little champ.
One little champ that did not get knocked down, did it?
Yeah, no.
It made it through the whole
Amazingly,
time.
somehow.
We let him change out batteries though, so it was okay.
Little cheater.
Yeah. But we had an amazing time. The combat was probably the most epic combat I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we also did a couple of community builds with some brand new...
soon-to-be released airplanes.
Yeah.
Yep, we're starting a new thing that's really exciting, and it's going to be called community releases. And what that is when someone in the community designs an amazing airframe or design, that we showcase them and showcase their product, and we also do build videos and release it in our store.
And we showcase Nerd Nick's MiG-3.
Yes, and Dan Sponholz and his son Keegan also designed an amazing airframe, which is going to be the very first community release, called the Bloody Baron. Both Dan and Nerd Nick led group builds of these products before they were even released to kind of give a final beta test, and it was really cool to see so many people building either the MiG-3 or the Bloody Baron.
Yeah, and they got to kind of get a sneak peek on what's coming up.
Now this year we're actually allowed to call the FPV line the FPV line, and not only was it FPV, but we also had quad racing. We had the FPV experience tent, which was where people were able to go in there and see what the perspective of the other pilots were seeing, and also try on new gear, some not even out yet, amazing goggles, things like that, technology. But all this was managed managed by a wonderful gentleman named Chris Thomas from Multi-GP. And he did a phenomenal job not only with orchestrating the races, but also frequency management, getting people up to the line and making sure it's all done safely and with as much fun as possible. Now MultiGP is also doing an amazing thing with software and hardware that enables pilots to be separated on channels, also times them, and also gives them a level of organization that organizes them in the race so people can fly and the whole process can move along very efficiently.
Oh, nice. And AMA had a flight simulator there too, right?
Oh yes, they did a great job. Because Flite Test is so passionate about getting people into the hobby, it was really cool that people could go right into their trailer, which had these simulators all along the back wall, and actually try to fly and learn those skills before going in the tent and building something, then going right out to the line and having success.
And now the Flite Test store tent seemed to be a huge success.
It was crazy.
Every time I was in there's tons of people in there checking stuff out. It's cool that we had 12 new kits since then.
12 new kits since last year.
Yeah.
And the neat thing also with the extra building space, a lot more people were inspired to go ahead and buy something and build it. And we even brought extra foam in for free into the tent area.
Yeah.
And even beta tested some of our school kits that are going to be released with FT Connections to allow people to build for free. But boy, that tent, it was like a meeting place too. People would go together and say, hey, what are you building? And they would talk about, oh, okay, I want to fly with you. I'll go ahead and build this, and they'll build together, which is something I never thought would ever happen.
And of course, Jen did an awesome job heading that up.
She was amazing. I don't think she left that tent for more than 20 minutes.
Now we had a lot of major big builds going on.
That was one of the things we talked about last year with getting that extra huge tent.
Yeah.
Was we wanted to see more and more epic builds.
There's Keegan's Cray Cray Cree Cree.
Keegan, I believe he is a senior in high school. And the amazing thing about Keegan was when Crafty Dan, who was organizing the whole entire build experience and the build tents, when he was taking the information for people that wanted to do big build projects, Keegan stepped up, and this young gentleman wanted to build a 1-to-1 size of a Cree Cree. And what a Cree Cree is the smallest aerobatic twin-engine full-scale airplane. So he wanted to make it 1-to-1 scale and fly it.
Jeez.
And he designed it. He got people ready to build on it. He got the materials in order. He got the electronics in order, and he went to town. And he spent literally almost every waking moment building this thing from the beginning of the flight test to Sunday when he finally got to test fly it. Keegan, you are an amazing leader, and the way you were able to motivate people, inspire them, and also equip them for success and pull this off, I think I'm gonna be out of a job in a few years.
Now we gotta give another big shout out to Patrick Hines. For one, we had a need for a lot of different electrical power, but we weren't really sure how to run it or harness. We really didn't think through it at all.
Patrick and I were here till about midnight, cutting out boxes for junction boxes. He's making up these awesome patterns to make it quicker, and getting cables with Austin. So the reason the flight test had power was because of Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick.
And then Patrick went and took another step forward here. I love Pete and Pulse.
Yeah.
And Patrick knew that, and he designed a swappable Pete and Pull here and let me fly it on, I believe it was Saturday evening. This thing flew amazing. And this is actually out of Elmer's board, which makes it very heavy and a little bit tail heavy, but even with that, it flew incredible. And so I think we're looking at a future community release.
Nice.
Patrick gave us his blessing to work with it and try to make it as repeatable as possible. But this thing flying through the air looked just like the full scale and flew just like the full scale. So Patrick, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
And another major build that we had was the giant duster, which
golly.
pretty much took up the whole hangar.
300%. And you could see kids light up from a distance with this thing. It was amazing. And it was
You can
huge.
see kids go for rides in this thing.
Darn near. And I've never seen a power pod so big in my life.
Yeah. Now Peter spent almost the entire weekend in the hangar.
Busy.
Yeah, working on the multi-wing plane and also the giant circle plane.
He did amazing things. Peter's not a dad yet.
No.
And he had a group
Not
of
that we
kids
know
with
of.
him. Not that we know of. He had a group of kids working with him non-stop to build 2 epic airplanes. And he inspired these kids and equipped them to go ahead and build this with him. It was incredible.
And they loved it. You could tell that they loved it. You could see on their little faces.
He made memories with every single one of them. He taught them a lot too, and I think they even taught him a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly patience.
Yes.
Now, when Peter wasn't building either the circle plane or the multiplane with the kids, they were shoving all sorts of crazy contraptions into his capybara, which
That
is
sounds painful.
it's very painful. RC cars, pun jets. Peter, what else did they throw in there?
Lots of gliders. So I pretty much had them put whatever they wanted in there, and I'd carry it up to altitude and open the gate, stall it, and let everything spill out and roll, push it over.
You'd always know when the capybara was coming up because you'd hear a loud roar, you'd hear weird motors from him flat spinning and stuff, and then you hear kids cheering like crazy. And then epically, you'd see something falling out from it, gliders and something falling down to the surface, and all these kids running out into the soybeans to recover whatever was dropped.
And of course, we cannot forget to thank the Furies.
Oh, they're incredible.
Oh my gosh, for letting that kind of event happen at their place on their property.
The amount of rain that fell and the amount of damage that we did to their property with throwing that hay down, the pathways that formed from people walking in the same direction.
Yeah.
It really did a number on their property, but they were happy just to host that many people, and that just shows that their heart is exceptional.
Yep.
Last year at Flite Fest 2014 was an exceptional experience.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine something that would surpass that.
Right.
But from the rain to the hay to how people group together to help each other out, all the way to the sunshine, the great demos, and the amazing builds, Flite Fest 2015 was an amazing experience.
Yeah, definitely. From the volunteers to the people that just came to hang out. Like the community there was amazing. It was just a great family experience all around.
And I've never seen so much family. We had a lot last year.
Yeah.
But this year, far more people, far more dads and moms and kids all playing together, and a lot of young pilots, even helping other young pilots. Last year we had a lot of adults teaching children. This year we actually had children teaching children up on the line, test flying each other's airplanes, helping each other repair it. That spirit is alive and well, and I think it really sets what Flite Fest is apart from many other events.
Definitely. If you have any stories, pictures, videos, anything that you want to share on social media, hashtag Flite Fest or Flite Test, and so that we can check it out.
We'd love to have you guys be able to share your memories. We were having a great time experiencing it with you.
Yeah.
We'd love to see what other people experience as well, and also get to share with the masses.
All right, we'll see you guys next time, and hopefully we'll see you next year at Flite Fest 2016.
See you next time.
See ya.